That's right, we're back. Yeah, you must be wondering what's going on. Is this time for a combox? Nope. That's at the end of the 35th over. And England didn't reach the 35th over. They won the toss and elected to bat, but they didn't really feel like batting, as you can see from what they have done. Well under 34 overs, their innings is wrapped up for 156. That's right. Sri Lanka have got England all out. Well, has Sri Lanka got them all out? Or has England got England all out today? To discuss that and more on Cricbuzz Live, I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Joy Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan. In the pre-game show, Joy, we spoke about the phrase, which was that England has really spread the vegetable yogurt dish across the plate. Matlab, raita thali mein phail gaya hai. In this case, we can say they have also cut their noses. Matlab, naak katwa liye unhone apni. Because today, this batting display has been shocking, it's been uncharacteristic, and honestly, looking at it, as a person who's been a fan of the England approach of 2019, the Silverwood-Morgan approach, is just a little embarrassing.
Yeah, and what will be even more embarrassing for them, I don't even want to dwell on that card right now. Firstly, there is one man who said it's either above 300 or below 200, and that's the man. The man who made the prediction. So
yes.
Absolutely.
I am also available for Janam Patris, lottery numbers, as well as kids' Mundan ceremony. Please contact us. Yes.
No, but yeah, absolutely. But, moving on from there, the other thing is that, revenge is a dish best served cold. I don't know how cold or warm Bangalore is, but Chris Silverwood was removed as the coach of the one-day team of England.
That's correct.
And is sitting in the Sri Lankan dressing room, and he may feel a little bit happy today. I don't know how he feels, but...
Oh, but that will be the second Englishman. Jonathan Trott also did the same thing with them.
Yeah.
They are not having a good time with...
And when you're looking at that batting card, you will realize that it's not a pitch where the ball is... there are demons in the pitch or anything of that sort. You will look at some soft dismissals, couple of runouts, which were actually very shocking, like especially that last runout of Adil Rashid was something which we don't often see on the cricket field.
Yep.
Keeper throwing at the non-striker end and getting a batter out. But there were some soft dismissals as well. And I think England's whole campaign with the bat, like we were talking about in the pre-game show, they've not turned up. They've not turned up as a batting unit. They've looked clueless. It was evident today as well with their approach, their shot selection. Extra bounce is something which you can see there in the pitch, but it's not very alarming. This is a typical one-day pitch. We've seen what Australia have done on this pitch in Bengaluru.
Yeah.
The pitch has not looked any different than that. But still, England batting lineup have not come to the party.
I love the word that you used. It's not like they're out of form. They have looked clueless, which is even worse. It's almost like, love me or hate me, don't ignore me. That indifference is the worst. That we're looking clueless is actually worse. And that's what has happened to England today. You look down that batting card and you are shocked, right? You're shocked that they have been wrapped up for 156. Their only hope was Ben Stokes, down who came there. But Ben Stokes also today, he may have got 43 joy, but he really looked out of sorts.
No, absolutely. He didn't look like the Ben Stokes of old. He looked like a Ben Stokes who's been injured for a long time, hasn't played for a while, looked rusty. But at least he made the effort to stay out there. The rest literally give away. Even Joe Root, what was he thinking? The two runouts actually epitomize what was wrong with England today. First, you're pushing it to a fielder there and you're you're going so far down. And the second dismissal of Adil Rashid, what was even more shocking is he saw the keeper going for it and he still couldn't put his bat down.
Yeah.
So it tells you how badly switched off they are that even the game situations, they cannot take advantage of it. This is clearly not an England side. They look like, if you remember at one time, England was famous for clueless England sides. They'd sent bowlers like Peter Martin who'd come to India and get hammered for 70 runs in 10 overs. Yeah. And then they went and said, we want to learn white ball cricket. Yeah. And then to 2015, they were slightly better. By 19, they were a formidable side. And now they've it seems that the time machine has gone right back to those days of 2011, where they did nothing, they never could do anything.
Yeah, it is. Like, well, if you've seen this, we saw it happening, and it was very weird because the first ball. So here's how it started for Sri Lanka. The first ball, Madhushanka gets bare stow, plumb LBW. Umpire does not give it. and the team is not confident enough to take a DRS. If they took a DRS, they would have been 0 for 1 on the first ball. But it wasn't to be. Sometimes your first ball is so good that you can't believe how good it is. I think that's what happened to Madhushanka there. Then you feel like, oh, it's Bairstow's day. He's going to take advantage of it. Bairstow, Malan, there was a few... I think Malan over the offside, there was 3 or 4 boundaries.
Exactly.
They looked like they're in form.
So anyone who talks about the pitch, just look at that.
The first 5 overs.
Yeah, just look at that period of play and look at the shots through the offside.
But
all
correct, all great. But then at the end of 5 overs, I don't know what happens, right? What snake they have smelt. यानी कि कौन सा सांप सूंघ गया. Because then there is no boundary for almost 10 overs. What happened at that point, Zach?
And yet, at 10 over mark, if you see, they're 60.
Yep.
59,
So,
yeah.
so till that point, the game was going like how normal typically ODI goes. You have bowling side who's taken 2 wickets, which is a good sign. So the game is even there. The batting team has scored almost 6 runs per over.
Correct.
So you will say, okay, fine. Now the next block of 10 overs, we'll have to see how things evolve. Okay, Sri Lanka have taken 3 wickets. At that stage, also Ben Stokes was still there. And you look at this England's batting depth, you still feel, okay, tough time. They've lost too many wickets now. The pressure is on, 5 wickets, but they're keeping up with the run rate.
Yeah.
So at the 20 over mark also, even though you're saying the 10 over passage
From
of
about
play
5 to 15,
5
there
to
was
15,
no boundary.
they didn't get boundary, but after that they kind of recovered
Yeah.
because they're still going at close to 5 runs per over around 20 over mark.
Yeah.
So how it happened? Just Sri Lankan bowlers kept picking wickets. There were some wrong options from English batting side, which didn't help their cause. The runouts also didn't help their cause, and it's just a scenario where you're saying, "Hang on, is it like a wicket where the ball was doing too much? Was it turning that the Sri Lankan spinners came into play and English batters couldn't deal with that?"
Yeah.
They play day in, day out on pitches which are helping seam bowling.
Yeah.
And you look at the Sri Lankan bowling card,
Yeah.
Mathews have taken wicket, Lahiru Kumara have taken wicket, Kasun Rajita has taken wickets.
Yeah.
So Tikshana has just taken the last wicket. So the
Correct.
spinner has taken only 1 wicket, 2 run out, 7 wickets were taken by the seamers.
Yeah.
And that is something which the pitch is not giving any signals of that it's that kind of a pitch where seamers are going to dominate. Then you have to go deeper and see what are the options which were taken by England batters, and there were a lot of soft dismissals.
So, like Zach is saying, there were no demons in that Chinnaswamy wicket. I think the demons were all in the heads of the England batters. They were just all there the way they did. And there was the devil, which was the Sri Lankan fielding. Oh, geez, they were all over England like a rash today. The minute they got a whiff, Joy, it was great to see this side just came alive in the field.
Absolutely. And I think it starts with Angelo Mathews. For whatever he came today, firstly the bowling. I mean, 120 you think that, it's innocuous. But see, he's getting a little bit of bounce. And he bowled in a beautiful corridor because it was climbed on the batsman just enough to take the edge. That was actually a good delivery. That was a decent delivery. Root throws away his wicket after that.
Yeah.
After that, Bairstow suddenly decides, can I hit it cross-bat over mid-on? I mean, what was he trying after? The rest of the wickets after that, then Josh Buttler decides to give catching practice to the keeper. None of the other dismissals were anything to think about, but very sharp from the Sri Lankans on the field. There was one that catch. Stokes could have gone early. They had, there was a brilliant catch.
Correct. Samar
Vikrama tried a brilliant catch. I think it was a mid-wicket or somewhere that he...
No, point, I think. It was at point and he dropped that. Yeah, he dropped that at point, yeah.
But see, that they had that and you could make out their up. Angelo Mathews, again, you don't regard him as somebody, he's just come to the team, talking to Lahiru Kumar, telling him, okay, these are the lengths to bowl, this is what you're on top of them. So as a side, they seem so motivated today. It was a fantastic performance from them. And I think that's what they've got taken in, saying, okay, we've lost all our players, we're injured, but we'll fight to the end. And taking it against an England which is loaded with that kind of batting lineup is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it was like today we saw, even though Malan and Bairstow, they didn't get that many runs, but they still looked in form. There was a few shots that Malan hit, which showed that he's, in flow. There was a few that Bairstow hit. I think with Ben Stokes, again, we're talking, there was one ball of Lahiru Kumara, Zach, remember you and I were watching. He cut Ben Stokes in half with that delivery.
So apart from that little bit of movement and little bit of extra bounce, There's nothing much in the pitch, and you will see that when England are going to go to bowl now and defend this total, you will see the difference.
Yeah.
So Lahiru Kumara was also very impressive. That Buttler dismissal also. Yes, there was a little bit of extra bounce. The line was a little out, but that shot Buttler prefers. So he went at it maybe a little early in the innings, and that's why we've been saying that if they had to pivot in the tournament, maybe the pivot could have been Buttler coming to open, would have just done something out of the box kind of approach when nothing is working. Yeah, shake it up. Just see, okay, T20 format. We're going to bat like that. Buttler has a reputation. Bowlers can go little defensive. That kind of approach England could have tried. But this campaign is just getting from bad to worse for them.
Yeah, I mean, something magical has to happen for them to defend this 156. And the way we've seen Sri Lanka in the field today and how galvanized they are, doesn't look, I mean, there'd have to be a very, very big collapse for them to
I was only
this.
I was only worried about one time, because when England's most informed batsman came in, which was Mark Wood, of course, he scored 43 of 17 balls in the last match.
True.
And so he was the only one who seemed to get bat and ball in against the South Africans. So when he got out is when we realized that, okay, the innings is finally over. But that's how ridiculous it is. The best batsman who's looked the best in your previous match is actually your number 11 batsman.
Yeah.
And that tells you a little bit about what England was today and has been in this tournament.
Yeah, let's also, I mean, we can talk about, and we are talking a lot about England's collapse and their muddled thinking, them being confused, them just capitulating today. But again, with Sri Lanka, yes, in the field, of course, they were really good. They were quite electric. But let's not take anything away from their bowlers. Because, yes, while England has given a lot of those wickets away, those opportunities have been created by the bowlers, Zach, fair to say, because if we look down that bowling card, of course, Lahiru, the wicket-taking star for them, he's come back into the game today, remember? He was picked today, so he's picked up 3 wickets for 35. Angelo Mathews off the plane. So those are the 2 changes that Sri Lanka's made today, and those 2 have got half the side out.
Yeah.
Right? So 2 wickets for Angelo Mathews. Add another one because he got a run out as well. Right? Joe Root's run out would be his. And if you look at the other bowlers, you see that, of course, Tikshana just got the 1 wicket. We get the bowling back. Come on, bring it back. Bring it back. They've done well today. Yeah, let's do it. Madhushanka, who applied pressure at the top, but today was a rare day when he didn't get a wicket, but everybody else has stood up. So Kasun Rajitha, of course, Bairstow gifting him the wicket after getting 30 runs. And then, of course, as I said, the story between Angelo Mathews and Lahiru Kumara. Your most impressive bowler today, Zach?
Well, I think that middle phase of play where Lahiru Kumara made that impact, you often see that we're talking about 10 over mark and how things were unfolding. 10 overs, 60 runs, just about that, 2 wickets is a normal game. But after that, once Sri Lankan bowlers had that opportunity to squeeze English batters, they kept the pressure on. Yeah. And I think, that's why today's bowling performance they'll be very satisfied with because this is a team. As a team, you're working together.
Yeah.
You're seeing the fielding effort. You're seeing the catching effort. Yeah. You're seeing the bowling effort. And then once you have that killer instinct we often speak about, that when you have the grip on the game, you just continue with that and make sure that the innings is finished. And I think that's what we've seen today. So the Lahiru Kumara spell, the deliveries which you're talking about, getting Buttler out, troubling Ben Stokes in that scenario with the little bit of seam movement which was there. I think that spell was crucial one. Rajita's wicket of Bairstow was also a crucial one because England needed that one partnership to consolidate and just continue the innings like that and get their all-rounders in play. David Willey or someone batting at that stage, if he's batting when there are last 10 overs, it's a different game. But when you have to consolidate, build an innings, so I think Sri Lankan bowlers will be very happy with the effort because once they got the sniff, they went for the kill.
No big partnerships. So 45 run first wicket partnership.
Yeah.
After that, the highest is 37 runs between Moeen Ali and Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
That means never did they have a very settled spell. They did not allow them. And I just to add to your bowlers, I just want to, again, Angelo Mathews comes there, he's expected nobody expects him to bowl 10 overs. But he comes even in the 27th overs and bowls a maiden for them. Yeah. And just look at that performance. At 2.8, keeps it, again, wily cricketer. knows how to play the situation. He's got his wicket early. They've taken him off, bowled a couple of economical overs. He knows what lengths to bowl in a pitch like that to keep the batsman quiet, because he's now not trying to take wickets. He says wickets will come at the other end, or these batsmen will give me wickets. But that sort of situational sense, I'm not trying to put it outside the off stump and allowing him the length to drive. I'm just keeping it out here because I know at 8 down, 7 down, he's not going to take risks against me.
Yeah.
And that game awareness is what is fantastic.
We have to say that the aged veteran, the fine wine that is Angelo Mathews, has made the three of us eat humble pie here, right? Because before the game, we were all thinking that is Sri Lanka cricket going in the right direction if they go back to somebody after so many years, somebody who they had left on a platform few stations ago, but he comes running behind the train or comes chasing it in a car like we've seen in many movies, come alongside the train, gets onto a bridge, jumps onto this train, and is pretty much in the engine now.
Yeah.
Zach, he's driving the train.
Well, he's had a terrific day.
Yeah.
1 run out, 2 wickets. Also that first breakthrough, because the first spell was not an easy one for Sri Lankan bowlers. He came into bowl after that little bit of partnership which was building between Bairstow and Malan. Malan was looking too good. He had hit those boundaries which you're talking about, and then getting him out, contributing with that Roots run out, and then the next wicket. So I think he's had a terrific day so far.
Yeah, he's got the train well. Not as well as Tom Cruise got it in the last Mission Impossible on a motorcycle and the parachute. Let's not get overexcited. But he's definitely jumped on a goods train from the bridge, right? We'll give him that much. That much of the action movie Angelo Mathews has had today. Can he have it with the bat as well? Well, I don't know if it'll even come to him, because with 156, with their batters, will get galvanized. They'll think we can definitely do this. For somebody like Kushal Perera, who's not had runs in the last few games, it's a good opportunity for him. No scoreboard pressure, no demons in the pitch. Yes, there's Mark Wood space, but nothing really in terms of swing and seam that can really bother them. This is a very good opportunity for Sri Lanka to hammer England again and impact their net run rate. Not that it's going to come into play if you won 1 game out of 5, but still to get a resounding victory over England.
And for Sri Lanka to try and, they look, if they're Sri Lanka and they're playing like this in the tournament, they'll say, we want to up our run rate.
Yeah.
That's one. But the other is 2 things. One is Sri Lanka bats in a particular way. Nisanka, all of them bat in a particular way. Kushal Perera, Nisanka, Kushal Mendis, they all bat in a particular way. All of them are aggressive attacking batsmen. All of them will go for it.
Yeah.
And on a pitch like this, they would have realized, like England, the danger of sitting back and allowing the bowling to dominate you is a very dangerous thing out here. So they don't need to be necessarily risky, but I think they will go for their shots. And this is a ground. Like when Malan and Bairstow were going for their shots, in the first 10 is the best time to bat in this ground. Because really, if you pierce the field, the outfield is like lightning. And there is bounce, but it's true bounce. It's not uneven bounce.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that they will attack up front.
Yeah, and they will, and why not? And you've seen Nisanka, you've seen the captain coming in at number 3. They can really do this. I was just thinking about that run out. You thought about the Adil Rashid run out. Reminded you of the Johnny Bairstow run out during the Ashes. You snooze, you lose, huh?
Yeah.
Don't go, that's not the place. Go for a walk in the garden.
But this was more authentic.
This was more authentic walk in the park.
Yeah.
It's like,
but I think from here now,
Yeah.
let's just see what can happen in the game.
Okay.
150 runs, how England should approach. You want to see a little bit of change in the approach still right now. You can't. I know that England was supposed to dominate the tournament with the bat. They've not really come to the party. But now, you're at this stage, you can't do anything about it. You need to figure out a way of creating that impact still on the game.
Yeah.
And I think their best chance is to get Wood back in the attack as soon as possible.
okay.
So far we know how they've been using Wood, but look at the extra bounce which Sri Lankan bowlers used. You need to be proactive right now.
Okay.
And say, okay, Willie, Vokes will start with you, but Wood, I think Wood also prefers to bowl with a little oldish ball.
Slightly.
Yeah.
So you need to just give him that little bit of not exactly the old ball, but bring him early in the attack.
Yeah.
So maybe just 2 overs, 3 overs to Willie. See if there is swing on offer. See if he's taken wickets or no. But in the first 10 overs, say around 7-8 overs mark, you need to see Wood bowling and creating that impact.
Well, the thing is, if you wait for the ball to get too old, the game may be too cold.
Exactly.
But then, it's gone, right? Yeah. So you got to bring him in. It's the 3 Ws, right? They have the 3 Ws, right? They have Vokes, Willie, and Wood. The 3 Ws, they have to divide the new ball between them. But get Wood in, because That 150 can trouble anyone, not just Sri Lanka, but any country in the world.
Absolutely.
150 is 150.
Absolutely. And if any pitch is given a little bit of bounce today, this is the kind of pitch that gives it. The other point is that he hasn't worked very well in the place that he is supposed to be used, which is at 11th, 12th, 13th over. He was supposed to be the enforcer in the middle. Remember, we had talked about players being enforcers. So you have Lockie Ferguson playing, who's done a really good job for them, by the way, for New Zealand.
Yeah.
Okay, but some of the others have not worked. Haris Rauf hasn't worked.
Yeah.
Mark Wood hasn't worked. So two enforcers haven't worked. Some of the others have worked. And that, I think, is key, that if he's not going to get you wickets there, bring him slightly early on. This is the one pitch where he's going to get some help.
Yeah.
Allow him to bowl as fast as possible.
Yeah, can they do it? Let's have a look at the bowlers for England. Who have they gone? Because they made 3 changes today as well. So they've got a fair bit of spin that's in play today. There's Adil Rashid, there's Moeen Ali, and there's Liam Livingstone. So all 3 of them. Joe Root, of course, bowls as well. I don't think he's going to be bowling today. But they've got these guys, and then the 3 Ws as their quick bowlers, which is Vokes, Willie, and Wood. So they are going to start with... I have a feeling that you might even see Adil Rashid in the first 10, right?
Since you're on Ws will have to deliver more Ws as quickly as possible.
That's right.
Keep in the game. But that's their only chance. You need to
Correct.
get wickets. You need to get wickets with the new ball. Create that panic in Sri Lankan dressing room. That's how you defend 150. You're not going to defend 150 by bowling 40 overs.
Yeah, true.
So you need to be walking out on the field with that mindset and that energy, because no matter what, England is one of the top sides right now playing cricket, and you want to be having that pride when you go out there. You can't have a campaign like this. The campaign is still not over, so you need to go out there and show that, okay, we've got that energy, we got that belief. Result doesn't matter. You know where it's heading right now.
Yeah, such a good point.
But you still have to show that. If you don't see that from England side, then the ticket, what you're talking about, that
boarding pass,
the
seat
boarding
selection,
pass and all that, all those talks will again come into play, and then there'll be tremendous pressure, and the tournament can only go in one direction for them.
Yeah,
it's a horrible feeling if they lose this badly. By the 5th match, if you're literally out.
Yeah.
Then
One
you're
game,
last,
1 win in 5.
and you still have to
who
play
would
4
have expected
matches.
that?
And these tours become so long. If you have reached a stage where you're already lost, there's no chance of qualifying. And then you're playing match after match for the sake of it. It can be really difficult.
Yeah, what has happened is, what you'd like to see from England, what we'd all like to see from England today in the second half of this game is just a little more lightning in the field, just in terms of their attitude, their body language. Zach, you've been part of enough teams. When you're defending a low score, the one thing that is in your hand that you can do constantly is have everybody chirping, everybody just in the game, everybody just coming, because you're 11 against 2 guys in the middle. Bring the energy.
And try and sustain that. So even if there is a partnership building, you've got to be able to sustain that. Yeah. Often what you've seen that, 5-7 overs teams come out with that kind of approach. And then the partnership builds, and then again it just frizzles out. You don't want to see that. And from Butler's point of view, you want to see attacking fielding positions. You want to see that you have slips in play. You are trying to make the play. You can't go in there saying that, okay, now the net run rate or something like that is crucial. It's not crucial right now.
Yeah.
What matters is that how you're carrying yourself as a team on the field. You can't go out there and show that you've already accepted the defeat.
Who was the lightning conductor in your teams? Like, who was the guy who'd get the buzz going?
I think Bhaji, UV, especially the fielders who are at point, covers, slips. It's their responsibility, square leg, because you're closer to the batter. You can create that noise. You can talk to the keeper. You can talk to each other, and create that scenario where the batters can feel a little bit of pressure.
They'll have to do that today, because what has happened, Joy, also is leading up to this game. You've been seeing these kind of performances that are happening. You've also been seeing Jos Buttler, for example, his comment that, we are defending champions, yes, but we are not thinking about the fact that we're defending champions. Joe Root saying we've not played enough one-day cricket. Yes, it's not like they're making excuses, but these are very defensive statements to be making, right? These are justifications. These are just seem like it's not. I don't want to hear that. It's like what we were hearing from Australia after game 1 and 2, right? Like, this is not Australia. Like, this is not England. You don't want these defending champions, World Cup holders to be talking like that, to be playing like this, to be showing up like this.
Absolutely. I so totally agree with you that it doesn't matter whether England qualifies or not, but they need to play like the England they are. You can lose, but that's why what Zach is saying. He'd love to see two slips, somebody steaming in, really giving it, bowling a bouncer or two in the early overs, letting the batsman know that I have pace and the match is not over yet.
Yeah.
Just show us that you're standing up and you want to fight.
Yeah.
That's all this thing, because this has been a really champion side. They've changed the way all white ball teams look at this sport. They've changed the way this game is played in the last 4 years, and we don't want them to go and have an abject defeat. We want them to be, they are they are still the champions. Still, the end of November, they will be the champions of the world.
Yeah.
And, they should just play like that.
Come on, if you are going to go down fighting, go down all guns blazing, and that's what we'd like to see from England. But in the meanwhile, from Sri Lanka, what do you want to see from them? This is a team in the subcontinent that has done well. They've been through this really painful process of rebuilding, and their youngsters have really taken up that mantle. You have Nisanka, Kushal Perera at the top. Kushal Mendes, who was batting really well, but then took over the captaincy, and then maybe that has just weighed on him a little bit because you're captain, your wicket keeper. Then Samara Vikrama, he of course has been their leading run scorer so far, so he's done well. From Asalanka, again, have not got what they expect from a guy like Asalanka. He's been around a while now, so you want a little more responsibility from him. Dhananjay De Silva, then Angelo Mathews batting at number 7. That's their batting today. Let's talk one by one. Let's talk about the captain first, Zach. When his captaincy was announced, I remember us discussing on the show saying, he's batting really freely. He's batting in good form. We hope that the cliche of captaincy now doesn't weigh on his shoulders. But it's just 2 games.
Yeah.
And he's been out to spinners in those. So I would just want him to leave his broom in the pavilion today and not bring out the sweep.
Well, when your team has performed the way they have performed today.
The bowling is done, the sweeping.
The bowling is done, yeah. So now I think that...
no cleaning to be done.
Yeah, no cleaning to be done. It's all ready now for him.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be that kind of a day for him. When you take up the captaincy, at times those nerves, that pressure, and also you've been announced as a makeshift captain, right?
Correct.
So if you're a captain getting into the tournament, you think differently. But now suddenly it's come, so that can affect your game for sure. But today's performance will help him for sure. As a team, you've done a great job. So it's about just going out there and getting these runs. Sri Lanka have punched above their weight for sure, and we've spoken about the fact that if teams which we are not expecting them to create that kind of impact in the tournament have beaten top teams.
Yeah.
And that has made this World Cup exciting for sure now.
Yeah.
And you see that that bottom of the table now, there's a lot of action. and you're not expecting England to be in that zone, but they've lost to Afghanistan, and today's game has been very tough for them. But for Sri Lanka, on the other hand, this game can really turn their fortunes in the World Cup itself, because you're still looking at that one team qualifying around 10 or 12. So 12 gives you that confidence. Okay, I think you will be in top 4.
True.
But that 4th team might go on 10 points. And Sri Lanka is playing their 5th game. So they have 1 game less than the other teams. Of
course. Yeah.
So they will be sitting pretty if they beat England. And it's looking really good for them. With players missing in their lineup, in their first squad, they still managed to do this. It's a great achievement.
No captain, right? No Hasaranga.
No Pathirana.
No Pathirana. There's some important players missing there who've got them.
Chamira, the bowler.
Dushmantha Chamira. So 4 first 11 players, you'd say, are missing for them, and they're still doing this. Well, let's say it's just half the game. We're not saying they've won it yet, but just how they've done in this first half by getting England all out for 156. It is really set up nicely. You know how their openers are going to go. Their openers are going to say, this is the time for us to attack. The pitch is true. The outfield is lightning. Let's get as many as we can. Let's not let it reach a point where we can get straddled in the middle overs. Let's get this done. Because they will also bear in mind that there's 45 for no loss and 156 all out.
Yeah.
England,
no, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And look, and the only way they can lose this match is to get out all out.
Yeah.
It's never. They cannot lose this match by being 134 for 8. It is either they're all out or they've won this match.
Yeah.
It's that small a target.
Yeah, so we can just guarantee you one thing, that this match is going to be done in 30 overs this way or that way.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going beyond that. Right? It's definitely not going beyond 30 overs. It's going to get done there. At this point in time, of course, all the smart money is going to be on Sri Lanka knocking this off. But you never know. England's a champion team. If they decide to check in right now and get absolutely electric in the field, they perhaps could really create a few ripples if they can get Sri Lanka all out for 156. All right. Our score predictions, of course, were woefully wrong.
Though you said it. You said it up front.
I mean, like a macro pattern. I can't be #arrogant with that macro pattern that they'll get less than 200. So we got to be exact. So we'll do power play predictions now. So power play, how many is Sri Lanka going to get? Who's going?
I think power play Sri Lanka is going to get 55.
Good. Nice. What do you say?
61.
61. I'm going higher. I'm going 67. Come on. Come on. Bring it, baby. Bring it. Come on. I think one of us should have sat low, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Now we've all gone there because now for half an hour we've done the show saying Sri Lanka will win, Sri Lanka will win. Then after that we can't say 28, no? In the power play. That would be... All right, well, that's all we have time for on Cricbuzz Live now. We may come at the end of the 15th over with Cricbuzz combo. We may. We could also come back with Cricbuzz Live. I'm just saying. I don't know. It could happen. It's 156.
For that, Kushal Mendes have to go on crazy.
Kushal Mendes, come on. Come on, Kushal. Any Kushal who's listening. There's two of them.
Actually, both the Kushals can go.
There's two of them in the top three.
Perfect.
Any Kushal can give us a lightning day and get us home early. We will not mind. It's a long World Cup for us as well. So one early evening, hey, we don't mind at all. Big thank you to Joy Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan. Thank you so much. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Cricbuzz Live. The story is that England won the toss, chose to bat at the Chinnaswamy. 156 all out is what Sri Lanka's got them. Have to get 157 to win, get 2 points and move up on that points table and still stay alive in this World Cup and to put England's aspirations firmly to sleep. All right, that's all we have time for. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.